This is going to be one of those topics that has nothing to do with a current event or anything that somebody has sent me as far as a topic that they wanted me to talk about. It's something that actually just popped up in my head. It's not even something that I was thinking of doing for the entire day or even for an hour. Like, it literally popped up into my head a good 10 minutes ago. And I said, I I never talked about this. And I always like to do topics where I explore certain things when it comes to black people. Now, one of the last videos that I did something like this was I was talking about how suicide and the mental stability of black people and how it really goes, how it's really talked about. And it's usually passed off as something else. But this one, I wanted to go a little bit more different and talking about, is it really an issue when black people find happiness? And this can be happiness in any aspect of life, whether it be happiness in a career, happiness in a relationship, or just being happy in their everyday life because, they're trying to live a positive lifestyle. And it's a reason why I chose to put up a picture of a black man crying rather than a black woman crying. Reason being because black men are often told to hold their emotions in and bottle them up and to man up and be strong and everything like that. And that's exactly why you'll find a lot of black men act in a very overly emotional way, because a lot of the times they cannot allow their emotions to really run free the way that they want them to. So a lot of the times they'll hide behind the guise of, or the mask of, oh, I'm fine, or I'm okay, and nothing is hurting me and everything like that, but I have to be strong. But deep down, they are screaming, and sometimes they often go unheard, all because they're supposed to put up this facade of being a tough individual. And the minute that they allow tears to flow, they'll feel like they are losing a masculine part of themselves. And that's definitely not the case, because you'll always hear some guys say they'll never cry in public, or they'll never really show emotions outside of their home. Some won't even cry if it's a funeral. Some of them will probably bury their own mother or father and may not drop or shed one tear until they are by themselves, because they don't want to show the world that they're quote unquote weak. And that's very unfortunate. But back to really the topic at hand about happiness. It seems like whenever black people find a moment of being happy or feeling like they've accomplished something and they are excited, which they should be, a lot of the world around them, including their own, will find a way to bash them or tear them down or be jealous or envy. It's almost like we're not allowed to have a moment of peace and happiness. It's like we just cannot have it. People enjoy when black people are going through stress. People enjoy when black people are going through drama. It's entertainment for them. Look at what's going on. I'll use a perfect example. Look at what happened with Black Panther right now. You have a lot of black people who are finding a lot of joy behind this movie for a plethora of reasons. But then you have some people that are mad at other black people for being happy about this film, whether it's because it was created by two white men or because it's owned by white studios and a host of other things. Most of those people have not seen what a lot of the youth, as far as kids, have gotten out of this. And I could have sworn that a lot of black people were supposed to put a lot of their kids first. But a lot of people, both inside and out, but mostly within, have found a way to try to snatch that bit of happiness away from them. And that is a bit, unfortunate. It's not about the movie being made by Marvel and it's owned by Disney, or it being created by two white men. It's the message that was within the context of that film. And that's why the movie is so successful. This movie is not just a superhero movie, not in my eyes. I saw it as something much more deeper than that. And I'm glad that the people who were behind it, who made it, were the ones that put their creative spin on an iconic character. That's just one of many examples. I use that one because that was the most recent one. And the thing is, I still see people talking about it to this day. I told you that people was going to be talking about this for a while. And the movie's been out for 3 weeks. And I expect people to probably, keep on talking about it going forward. But I already knew that this film was going to cause a lot of conversation, whether good or bad or otherwise. But it's almost like when black people are happy, it's meant to be a curse. Like, we're not supposed to be smiling. And speaking of smiling, they created this challenge. And it was a hashtag. Some of you may have seen it, where it was called Black Men Smiling, where it was a bunch of pictures that a bunch of black men took of themselves smiling. And I've never seen so many black men smiling at one time, because we're always supposed to have this serious persona about ourselves. It's almost like if we even smile, that means we're showing a sign of weakness, or we're leaving ourselves to be vulnerable. Like, it's crazy how all of that works, and it's almost like an internal psychological deficiency that many black people have, that if we are allowed to even be happy, even so much as just smiling or laughing amongst each other, we're not supposed to do that. Because it's almost like the so-called dominant society has put some kind of stranglehold on us on a mental side, that we are not supposed to have fun, that we are not supposed to be as a unit, and that we are not supposed to simply be happy and enjoy our melanin, enjoy our culture, enjoy us. It's really unfortunate that it comes down to that, but it just is the way that it is. That's why I like to try to keep my life as drama free as possible, because not only is it stressful, but it's also very unhealthy. Like, being stressed out all the time, it takes a toll on your body and on your health. That's why a lot of people die at the age that they do, because many of them probably went through life not being happy. They've gone through life, either drama found them or they found a way to find drama, and they reveled in it. I don't know why a lot of people in the black community choose to endure drama. I guess because it's like that art imitates life type of thing, where they see something on TV and they try to imitate it. And that's very unfortunate that we don't have more positive black images like we did back in the day. I mean, think of the television shows we had back then. We had the Cosby Show, A Different World, Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There were times on those shows where, it was a little bit of drama, but there was also more happier times and positive images, especially on the Cosby Show and A Different World. A Different World made a lot of people want to go to college, especially HBCUs. Cosby Show showed that you don't have to be the stereotype, that you can strive for more and still have good core family values and keep yourself grounded and not think you are above anybody who may not be on the same pay scale or class as you, but still at the end of the day look like you. We don't have those images anymore. We have ratchet so-called reality television. I can't remember the last time I watched those type of shows. It's been years. And I'm glad I pretty much detoxed that energy from my body and from my life. And that's very toxic. We don't need images like that anymore. We really don't. We need something empowering. We need something uplifting to carry us over this hump. But at the same time, I wouldn't say get too wrapped up in it, because even that can stress you out. Like, trying to convince other black people to think the same way as you is not going to work. I remember I did a video on my original channel where I was saying black people are not a monolith. That was a message or an open letter to not only white people, but mainly to black people. But I framed it in a way where it could hit both demographics, or actually both ethnicities, at the same pace, but it was going to be reciprocated differently depending on who was hearing it. Sometimes I see that I can find myself having a way with words. So I would guess what I'm trying to say is, black people, if You see as someone that's like, of your brother, your sister being happy, be happy for them. It may not be in a direction that you want it to be in, but if they're happy, be happy for them. That's the least you can do. Because what they're doing at the end of the day is for themselves. And it could also in turn be for the betterment of others. It could be in the betterment for you. You never know. All I can say is just like, treat each other like, I would say, like, have the respect level be a little bit more higher than it should be. That's all I can really say. Because I think no one on this earth deserves to be more, I would say, more happier than we are. It's just unfortunate that we are pigeonholed into these positions that continuously stress us out and make us mad and angry all the time. And most of the time when you do that, you start sending that anger and madness into the wrong direction. And that's not good either. Because if you're mad at someone or something else, don't direct it towards me, and I wasn't the one that affected your level of, I would say, anger or being mad. That's another thing that we got to work on too, is learning how to guide our emotions in the right direction. It's unfortunate that, we as a people got put into the position that we are in to this day. But if we can endure and survive through all of the things that we have survived and gone through, then we can definitely push through this. It may not happen in our lifetime. I wish it would, but I'm going to be realistic. I highly doubt that I'm going to be around when I see that complete shift that needs to happen. But I do hope that with the upcoming generations to come, that it does happen. And I'm almost certain that it will happen. I'm starting to see the shift now. I think we're at the beginning stages. We're at the foundation level. Eventually it's going to blossom and grow into something spectacular. And that is definitely going to be something for the future generations to see and most definitely be proud of. That's all I have to say. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments.